Hello, friends. I'm violently hungover right now, and I thought to myself, what a great time to do a video. And it got me thinking, if I was a magician worth my salt, what would I do in a situation where I'm violently hungover? Well, this is what I would do. How about you do your own damn card trick? However, if they're an attractive female, I would do something like this. But here's the card trick that I would do. Whoa. Hey, could you shuffle a deck of cards? Are you good at mixing? Great. I'm good at mixing too. Mixing and mingling with singles. Here, you're going to mix the deck and shuffle as much as you want. Are you satisfied with your shuffle? Do you want to shuffle the deck more? Are you complacent? No? Wonderful. Do me a favor and take the deck, and I want you to cut the cards anywhere you want, but really take your time and figure out where you want to cut the deck, because later you're going to go, oh, whoa, maybe if I would have cut one card more, it would have been different. So just do it. And the participant lifts up as many cards they want and they place it on the table. And you go, wonderful. Let me take that from you now. You could have cut anywhere. Remember, you shuffled. I didn't even touch the cards. These hands never even touched the deck of cards. So please do me a favor and look at the card that you cut to, and please remember it. In this case, they look at the card they cut to and they remember it. They then take this card and place it in the deck and shuffle it thoroughly. They mix it aggressively into the deck. And here you ask them if they've ever had their minds read. And the participant goes, no, you short retard. What do you think? I was part of some sort of MK Ultra style interrogation? And you say, no need for the attitude, ma'am. Now, the reason I'm having you think of a playing card is because I'm familiar with playing cards. You could think of anything else, but I might not necessarily be familiar with what you're thinking. So please clear your mind. You had a playing card that you held in your hands, so now it's thoroughly embedded inside of your frenulum, cerebellum. Firstly, I would like for you to think specifically of the color. If it's red, I want you to think of something bright and happy. If it's black, I want you to think of something dark and moody, or a black guy. All right, look at me. See, people think that they're good when hiding tells. This is why marriages break apart. Right now, I could tell that you're thinking of a black card. And I'll tell you exactly why. When you think of something negative, your entire demeanor changes. You might not think that you convey that to me, but I am a seasoned magician, so I know these things. So you're definitely thinking of a black card. Now we have club and spade. I want you to think of the card that corresponds. And if you're thinking of a different one and you're lying to me, I will be able to tell. See, for a second there, you thought of lying. You thought of telling me that your card, or thinking in your head that your card's a club. But no, ma'am, no, your card's a spade. Now, of course, there's the value. Think of the value in your head. It could be a number, it's a 7 or 8 of spades. And at this point, they have no choice but to fillet you. Now, here's the thing about magicians that I hate. You'll look at a simple trick like this, and you'll go, yeah, that's stupid. You're doing a crosscut force, and you're doing some sort of extravagant reveal of the card. Yeah, what do you think magic is, you dumbass? Magic's this. It's not the force. It's not the method. It's the journey. It's not even the destination. It's not even the punchline of revealing the card to them. It's this bulk that is the magic. So a magician might look at something like a crosscut force and go, that's been around forever. That's stupid. I want something new. This is probably one of the best things you could show to a participant, because everything is pretty much hands off. They shuffle the deck. They cut the cards. It's the most fair force in the entirety of the universe. There's no way that you could possibly know the card unless you are actually doing what you claim to be doing. And what you should be doing is buying my new book right here, The Art of the Squeal, available in the link in the description section below, full of moves, routines, tricks. It's fun. It's a fun read. I'm a fun guy, so I'm going to put a fun read in the community. Or, of course, you check out the Pick Cake Magic Academy. I realized my zipper was down. The home of over 1,400 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, beginner stuff, all the way to expert level tutelage. You can get a 1-week free trial. So when you see something like this, don't necessarily bitch and moan about the method. The method is something simple. You have the card on top that you peeked at. How do you peek at it? Well, after they shuffle the deck, you take the deck back, and you go, are you thoroughly satisfied with your shuffle? Now, what I like doing personally is to dribble the cards. It's a very natural action to do. I'm gesturing towards the cards. Are you satisfied you mixed this deck? And look at what happens when you dribble a deck. You actually get to look at the top card of the deck. Just in a normal dribble, I already know the top card of the deck is a 6 of diamonds. I'm not holding anything back. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just looking at the deck, dribbling it, and just the card, you see the card. Now, there are 100 different peaks that you could do, but that's my preferred peak method. And now I know what the top card is. So I could hand the card to the participant. I could say, I don't want to touch anything. But what I want you to do now is I want you to cut the deck anywhere that you want. However, please do keep in mind that this is going to affect every flow. And they cut the cards wherever they want, and they place it on the table. You then take this half from their hand, and you're going to place it and stagger it in this position. Magicians are very tempted at this point to go, I'm going to mark the position of your cut by holding this packet crosswise on top of the packet that you have cut. That's retarded. Just casually take this, drop it here, and you're good to go. You need a little bit of time here, a little bit of time misdirection. Just tell them, hey, you cut the cards anywhere. I told you could have cut absolutely anywhere you wanted. And please remember that that's a free choice, because later on people might go, oh, no, he made me do this. He made me do that. No, Samantha. And now you very openly like this, take this and go, do me a favor, look at the card that you cut to. Perfect. I don't want to see anything. I'm going to turn around. They look at the card, and it's the force card. They can then shuffle this thoroughly into the deck, and you're good to go. The method is nothing. The revelation and the journey is everything. So in this case, you could have them think of something negative and positive to correspond for red and black. You could tell them that when they think of something happy and bright and red, they have tells with their body. Even if they try to hide it, guess what? I could still hone in on those feelings and tell you what you're thinking of. I'm having you think of a playing card specifically because that's what I'm familiar with. I might not be familiar with something else that you're thinking of, but I'm a virgin and I handle these every single day. So we could have had you think of anything, but again, I'm just using playing cards just because. And I think that's a good justification, because technically, why are you doing this with playing cards? Why can't me as a participant just have anything in mind that I'm thinking of and you try to pick it up? Well, because I might not necessarily be familiar with that. Whereas this, I'm extraordinarily familiar. And then, of course, you could break it down. You could reveal it however you want, but please put time and effort in this. However, here's the art form, and here's the difficult part of a routine like this. You don't want to just throw it on them. You could, that works. You have them think of the card and then just 6 of diamonds. That could work in certain circumstances. However, it's much preferred to give it an actual meaning, to give it length. Because in this case, if it's too quick, that's way too close to when they actually handle the deck. So there's some form of backtracking. Whereas if you put some length in there, then there's no way for them to backtrack. However, if you put too much length, then it becomes an abortion. So the art form here is finding that nice sweet spot where you're not rattling off for months on end to reveal a single playing card, but you have enough information where they're entertained, the audience around is entertained, and you have a very memorable effect. I don't know anything else to say about that, honestly. It's just super simple to do. You could mold it to your own personality. I like the color and attribution for something positive and something negative. There's also a nice little bit there that I love. Whenever you get to the suits, you mention, okay, in this case, we have hearts and diamonds. Think of the one that corresponds to your card, and don't try to lie to me because I could pick that up. And of course, by saying that, they're thinking of potentially lying. It's like that whole adage where you go, hey, don't think of a purple elephant where you're thinking of a purple elephant. In this case, you might be thinking of lying to me, but I'll know. As a matter of fact, you probably thought of lying and thinking of the other one. But no. You thought of a diamond. And that's a nice little touch, telling them what to think about and then telling them that you know that they're thinking that. It's a nice little mentalism subtlety. Now, if you notice also in the revelation of the last portion, that's usually where magicians drag it out and go, all right, I want you to name each value of cards, and then you hone in on that specific one. I'm lengthy for the color. I'm lengthy for the suits. And then for this one, I like to be punchy. So I would give the impression that I'm going to go into a lengthy bit here. In this case, we have numbers and we have picture cards. So your card could either be a number or a pic. And then you stop, have a nice little bit of silence, and you say, you're thinking of the 5 or 6 of diamonds. Now, that's my preferred pronoun method of doing it. Why? Because it's imperfect. Imperfect is realistic. If I were to just say 6 of diamonds, it's too perfect. So 5 or 6, I'm unsure. And that implies honesty. What magician would be out here in a position where he would openly fail in front of an audience? But by saying something like 5 or 6 of diamonds, now it brings realism into this revelation. And now you have a routine that they're going to be thinking of for months on end. And it's perfectly doable if you're violently hungover. Some advice at the end of the video. Oh boy. I hankered down, my friends. I had a live stream the other day where I was asking for people to give me suggestions for water guns that I would gladly partake in. And I had a good deal on a Hellcat water gun for YouTube purposes. And this one in particular is one that I'm going to probably enjoy thoroughly. I think the size is immaculate. I think the grip, the handling, I'm very happy with this particular purchase. And I got it for a ridiculously cheap deal because of a thing that I don't want to mention, I guess, because I don't know about nefarious laws. But in Florida, things are pretty open. So for those of you that gave me advice on these puppies, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to the Pig Cake community, especially when I have a problem and I pose a question, and you guys are so nice, and you guys are pretty much over the top when it comes to giving me advice on things. And here in this case, you guys gave me some great advice. Spring Bloom, one of the commenters here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Now, if anyone ever decides to come at me in a way that's aggressive, guess what? Your boy's out here prepared to squirt them with water. So I guess that's my advice. Carry a water gun.
I see you again. When 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 I see you again.